Hi everybody, it's your girl Diamond Love, and I'm back with an all new episode of Family or Fiancé. This episode, it really brought my mood down at the end of it when I watched it. Because I was really not high about it, happy about it at first. I was mostly wanting to understand because there were a lot of holes, a lot of gaps, but it ended with something that was very serious. And I wish that the participants of this episode took it seriously. But we're going to get into it. So, we meet Katasha and Victor. I'm gonna have a hard time repeating her name, Katasha. I'm gonna have to just maybe say Tasha for short. But they met at the grocery store. She was a cashier, and she's 25. He's 55. They have a 30-year age difference. She said she was tired of dating guys her age because she felt like she was much more mature than them, and she wanted to try something different. So she ended up getting with this man. I mean, this man would literally plan to come to the grocery store every time to buy the same item just to get into her line, just to get to talk to her. Now, this man, he's no stranger to this, but he said that being with Katasha was different than all of his marriages. He's been married 3 times, and it was way more different than his previous marriages. But I feel like she's younger, she's interested in more things. I have no idea what it is, but I had a pretty good feeling towards the end of it of why he chose her, but I'm gonna see more. Basically, they said they taught each other how to love, how to be in a different relationship that's different than what they were used to. Her family does not like Victor. They believe that he's too old for her, and that your life is still becoming, your life is still beginning. This man's 55. He's lived his life. What you expect to have so much in common with this man? You need to go ahead, find somebody that you want to be with your age, or just be single. You know what I'm saying? Date. Don't just go out and date an old ass man. But her reason for coming here is to tell her story, that this is her life and that she's happy. She's saying that in the beginning. We're gonna dive into it. So they got a session with Tracy. They've been together for 6 years. I had to count. I said, so you have been with him since you were 19, and he was 49 years old. Disgusting. But it gets better. When they were together, she did not know that he was still married at the time. In the guise of the fact that she didn't know that he was still married at the time, he had not taken the protocols to get a divorce. He was still legally and participantly married to his current wife while he was dating her. 6 months of the relationship, they broke up, but he explained the situation, and something happened, and now she was living in the house with his current wife. I was like, so you were still living with your soon-to-be ex-wife and possibly still having relations with your soon-to-be ex-wife. But then, of course, it's like, why did you stay? If you knew that this man was still actively living with his wife, hadn't taken the precaution to get a divorce, but he told you it wasn't what it was. He told you it's over. I want to be with you, not her. But yet, you snuck in the house, and apparently, in the midst of her living in the house, the Victor was still acting like him and his wife were still a couple, kissing, hugging, affection in front of her. So she was like, I'm uncomfortable. Why am I here? But he made up a lie and said that she had nowhere to stay, so she stayed. I don't know what woman in her right mind would allow a 25-year-old woman who she doesn't know, why the hell would my husband know, to live in my home. That's not gonna work for me. So and then the wife wasn't dumb, but I still find it, how are you allowing this man to invite a complete stranger to the home? But the wife wasn't dumb. She knew something was up, so he admitted they was in a relationship. And the whole entire time of this happening, it lasted a year that she was living in the home in another room while he was still sleeping in the room with his wife. When she would leave, they would do nasty things. For a whole year, they sneaking and freaking in another woman's house. You literally let your mistress live into the home while you were still sleeping with your current wife. Victor, you are no. I don't know why you want to have. I don't want you. I don't know why you felt like you wouldn't have your cake and eat it too. This wasn't the right. This wasn't. So then, by the time it came out, the year the wife moved out into the guest bedroom. Katasha moved into the master bedroom all the way until the divorce. Because we didn't hear when the divorce was final, but that still was some red flags all the way. Red flags on the age difference. Red flags the fact that he allowed you to stay in the home where he was still living with his wife at the time. He allows you to stay into a separate bedroom, but he would go into the separate bedroom and sleep with you while the wife was gone. But he was still getting his it's mess of all mess. Red flags everywhere. Caution, red flags. But they are broken up a lot due to infidelities. She's seen him on dating sites, conversing with other women, flirting. And then he said he doesn't call it infidelity in a relationship. If you walk out and say you're done, then he won't move on to the next. But if that's the case, then why do you hold on to her so much? In 6 years, y'all have broken up a lot in the course of 6 years because of this. But if you feel like if she was to say, I'm done, I'm walking out, you can go to the next one. Why do you go back to her? What is it? What is it? What is it? So the mom, we got the stepmom Casey, we got the cousin Nene, and we got the best friend Ashley on Katasha's side. It's saying the same thing. Controlling behavior. Does he really love her? And if this is what you want, you still have a life to live. We got the best friend Marlon. We got the son Christopher, and we got the stepdaughter for Victor's family. Same thing. Trust issues. You guys got a toxic relationship. You're always arguing, getting back together. And you've already had multiple failed marriages. How is this one going to work? So they meet up. Of course, they already had the session with Tracy, so they have to do the task. Katasha has to do relationship timeline. Give answers to how this relationship came about and what has gone through. Victor, 20 questions. What are the questions concerning your interest in my daughter? You need to give truth in that. So Victor, Shaman, and Rob, they want to know what's the dynamic of the relationship. Y'all break up to make up. Is it because the age difference? Y'all don't really mesh well. Y'all are on a different maturity level. He's done, grown, don't have time to deal with this. She's still figuring out herself, so she tends to go about the child's way. But she's 25, he's 55. You can't. It's just a lot. I don't like it. Then, of course, he hasn't formally introduced his stepdaughter to the Katasha because he has 3 children, 27, 28, and 33. All grown, all pretty much older, 3 years older than her. So how the heck are you going to mesh with the fact that your now stepmom is 3 years younger than me? She's like, I don't know what to call her. What do I call her? I'm like, I don't think you should call her anything. Katasha's family have seen the red flags from the beginning, like a few months ago. They just want to be concerned if the relationship is working. Is it good? Because she's seen some controlling behavior. She recognizes it. And if they're in this house and they can make it work, fine. But if the truth comes out and the way this relationship cannot work, then they need to move on. So we got the timeline, the 20 questions. So Katasha, 2015, she found out they were married. She found out he was married within 6 months, broke up for about a month, got back together because he laid some sob story that his marriage was a sham. It wasn't working. I don't love her anymore, and he must be with her. She believed him. And it was asked to Victor. I wish they would have dived in more because this made a lot of sense. Do he not have a good relation with his kids? He said he would like to. Not as much as he would like to. He was on drugs when they were young. So he wasn't as present as he should have been. He needs to go back to that. Because we didn't dig deep into the abuse. Like, what young? Like, when they were 5, 4. It's a lot of things that wasn't much met. Wasn't much explained. But it set up a lot. So, apparently, Katasha ended up being homeless, kicked out by her mom. She doesn't have a good relationship with her father. He calls once every 3 weeks. He doesn't help financially. Marlon asks, is that why you're attracted to Victor? She said, yeah, he kind of gives me that father figure, lover, and best friend. Isn't it kind of weird that you would view your fiancé as a father figure? She said, yeah, it is weird because he looks at me as a daughter. Ew. What's going on in both y'all minds? That weird, obsessed, controlling incest relationship that a daughter had with her father is so weird. It's so uncomfortable. It's like gross. Why would you feel attracted to something that you look at as a daughter? Why would you be attracted to something, sexually attracted to somebody who looks at your father? You can't have sex with your father. Yes, there are men who have the traits of your father, but you tend to like Not go about and say, I'm in love with my father. That's gross. That's nasty. No, 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 no. That's nasty, nasty, nasty. No, 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 no. That's so. Like, how are you about to marry somebody that you look as a father figure? No, that's nasty. I don't know how you can put those two together. I don't understand that. So it was a question asked: was he abusive in the relationship? He joked and said no, but she is. She would lay a hand on me before I will. The producers was like, "Is that true?" Because if it is, he said no. No violence is being. No violence was happening. No physical. Okay. The reason why abuse was brought up because her mom helped. Her mom helped her move out because he was being abusive towards someone. He said that's not true. Katasha left one day and was gone for 7 months. They had an argument and it was based off of him cheating. The question was asked, have you cheated? He didn't answer it. He answered back with, how about asking her how many times she's cheated on me? And everybody in Katasha's family is like, he keeps dancing around the question. First he's joking about the abuse question. Now that he's not, now he's going about it and putting her into the pot about how many times she's cheating on him. We didn't even get to whether she did or not. But I feel like it's something that she's afraid of expressing because you were going to go ballistic on her. Yeah, he keeps on dancing around the question. He doesn't want to answer it. And so you were still living in the house with his ex-wife? Was you told to keep it a secret? And was it love that made you stay? And or was it because you didn't find anywhere else to stay? Like you didn't find nowhere else to stay? So the sister is, the daughter, she's pretty much like wondering, why did you stay? Why would you live in a house that he was still actively with his wife? Because he told you he loved you, you believed him? And if you were homeless, you didn't have nowhere else to stay after your mom? You just stayed with him because you needed somewhere to stay? Or did you stay with him because you loved him? I was kind of with the sister because it's like there's some holes that needs to be happening. Because I feel like he doesn't want you to be away from him. And you feel like you cannot break away from him because you feel so attached to him. So, of course, it's teetering on the fact, are you there for the money? Now, we don't even know, as far as financial, what does he do? We don't know that. We just pretty much know he looks at her like a daughter. She looks at him like a father. They fuck each other. Like on some nasty, what was that movie called? I forgot that movie. It was on Lifetime. It was on Lifetime. I forgot. But it was pretty much, how a daughter fell in love with her stepfather and they wanted to kill the mother for it so they can live happy ever after. Something like that is in my mind. And I don't know why. It's something on Lifetime, but I forgot what it was. So then, of course, the brother wants to know, like, you guys keep on fussing and fighting and arguing. This isn't healthy. Why would you want to be in this? And then the motives. Why are you being with him? And is Victor controlling? She says, I don't think so, because apparently, it's been witnessed or it's been looked upon as if when she tries to talk for herself, Victor chimes in and speaks. She said, maybe because I'm a quiet person, I don't really talk much, I don't have much to say, so he pretty much, just speaks for me. And when was the last fight y'all had? He said they don't argue that much, but when it comes to it, he likes to keep his cool and go to sleep. But you guys do argue a lot. The mom recognized it and said, this is toxic. I know. I've been with her father for 13 years. And it was all this cussing and fighting, tearing each other down, disrespect on top of disrespect. So it's like, I understand that. And that's not cool. I don't want that for my daughter, which is why I got out. So then the first fight was about the wife, on how, he doesn't love her. Apparently, she's fighting for it. And he was lying. He was lying. Telling her that it's over, but he was also telling his wife she's just somebody who needs a place to stay. That was it. But then she notices that all the questions is coming at her, and she's feeling a little bit attacked for it. And it's like, it's not much of an attack. We just want to know, because it is kind of sudden that first you live in a house with his current wife. You guys are sneaking around fucking. And then, of course, he asks you to keep a secret. And then you leave, and now you guys are together getting married. And I'm not even going to do it. Because I noticed it, but I'm not going to say nothing. But, she said, we're just trying to understand it. Because you marrying our father, we want to know the gaps that obviously he hasn't shared with us. We just want to understand. So, of course, it goes back and forth. She said, it gets loud. The mom hears her. She goes back to try to comfort her. It's all about, I'm going to snatch that wig off your head if you coming at me. So I'm not trying to disrespect you. I just want to get the answers. So Victor tries to calm her down. She walks off. The sister expressing what happened. We're just trying to get to the bottom of things. And the questions we're asking her, she doesn't want to answer them. She don't have to answer them. But we want to know. And she feels like she doesn't want to face the truth. The reason why she is getting upset because she doesn't want to face the truth about what's really going on in the relationship. And I believe it. So Victor pretty much tells her to calm down. We all trying to get to the bottom of things. There's no need for us to get upset. And Katasha's like, okay, well, at the end of the day, I'm not fucking with your daughter. But that's my daughter. Okay, well, you handle her because I'm not handling her. I'm like, this relationship does not need to be together. So we get to family dinner. The mom is reiterating the answers. So the question was asked, but the one thing that we did not get a complete answer on is the root of the issue. That's the root of the arguments you guys are having. It is cheating or is it trust? She said it's both. When was the last time he cheated? Again, he answers, when you tell me you don't want to be with me, when you walk out, that's pretty much telling me I could do what I want. But that's why I do leave. Because I find you talking to other women. I find you flirting with them. So obviously, in the midst of trying to find the answers, they hear the loud arguing. So she believes the daughter has a nasty attitude. But the mom pretty much said, first of all, you did not express the fact that you stayed in the house because you loved him. You stayed with him because you had nowhere else to go. So that led me to believe the extra modes that you are there for money. You are there for protection. You are there to get a bag. Like, that's what you're there for. I don't know what else towards you. And she said, you did not even give me a chance. But at the same point in time, the mom is like, first of all, y'all, this is your first interaction y'all had. She's expressing herself because that's her father. You're expressing yourself because that's the man. That's your man. So, of course, you guys are not, meeting up exactly, finding the right word. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find an even ground. Because this is your first interaction with each other. Y'all never had this before. The best friend said, I believe mom is right. You viewing him as your father, which is what you have the right to, but you're viewing him as your man. So we need to find the common ground for everything. He's your best friend, he's your hero, and all that type of stuff. So then, Victor said, I want everybody to get along with my wife. I want everybody to get along with her. I want to make this work. So Katasha and the daughter apologized to each other for getting off on the wrong foot. Then we're back to the underlying issue again. Has he been abusive? Those questions he really did not want to answer. Katasha said he didn't want to talk about it here. When I told him about us coming here, he didn't want that to be mentioned. He said, don't mention it here. Don't mention it here. And the last time he got physical was a few months ago. He'll get angry over the smallest things. And it gets blown out of proportion. She just sits there crying. And by the time they're fighting, they're both aggressive. They're both arguing. It's unhealthy if you want to stay with him. If a man's trying to harm you, he's not for you. He doesn't love you. But she's afraid she doesn't want her to mention it because it's going to be a lot of arguing. She doesn't want her mom to mention the conversation. But she said, I love him and I want to be with him. I'm like, oh, child, this woman. So obviously, being a mother, she didn't like what she heard. She instantly talked to Tracy, told producer, I need to talk to Tracy now. So she explains to her about the reasoning. She said, my daughter has been in an abusive relationship over the years and she's gotten used to it and I don't want that for her. I know that this isn't new because she witnessed it with me and her father. He was abusive towards me. And she said, how did you get out of it? I had a breakdown. I was hospitalized. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I had to do everything on my own. I gave it to God. Now I'm healed. And once I got better, I got out of it. And now she's in a much better relationship. She's in a peace, calmful. And that's what she wants. And also, the man that she was with was 10 years older than her. The same predicament that Katasha's in. She's in a relationship with an older man who's treating her like a kid because he wants to treat her like a kid. He wants to treat her like something that he can control, use, manipulate. So the session with Tracy, they are changing everything on this show, on this episode. So she says to her mom, told me about their abuse. Are you open to talking about it? And they said, no, it opens up too much. She doesn't want to talk about it. And if she don't want to talk about it, Victor is not going to say nothing. Because he doesn't know exactly what was said. So he said, he was like, I don't know what was said. What was the wording? And Tracy was like, are you upset about it being out? Or are you upset about what was worded? Because at no level of violence should you put your hands on somebody. And he said, I don't know what level is that. I don't know what else to say to you, but we're going to have to fix that because that's not the answer you should have said. And the way that he is looking at her, I was afraid for her. I'm like, producers, wherever you are, please keep them separate from each other because he looks like he's about to slap the shit out of her right now. punch her, choke her. I was afraid for her in that moment. And he feels like I'm the one that's getting blamed. Why everybody coming at me? But, you know, basically, have you guys both decided to end this relationship? He said yes. She said no. No, she used to, but not anymore. She asked Victor to step out. I'm like, cool. She breaks down and cried. This is the reason why she came on the show. To tell everybody, I've been in an abusive relationship and I don't know how to get out. I need help. And she's tired of living a lie, pretending everything is okay. So Tracy changed everything. There is no blessing ceremony. Ain't nobody gonna bless this shit. So we need to change the dynamic. So Katasha's gonna stay at the house. He goes to a hotel. They said the marriage and the wedding should be on hold. But she wants to wait for him because she still wants to be with him. So we get to the family meeting. Everything has changed. I think that you guys need to enter a counseling therapy session before you guys enter a wedding and a marriage. And turns out that the stepdaughter, she has witnessed abusive, she's been in an abusive relationship before. And of course she said not to put everything on my dad, but she doesn't believe that Katasha deserves this. She deserves to be happy too. When she said that, I'm like, I know that's your daddy. You don't want to see your dad as a scum of the fucking earth to put his hands on a woman, especially one that's younger than you. But he still needs to be accountable. No matter how small things get, he should never put his hands on her. And that's his fucking fault for preying on a woman at the cashier at the grocery store. That's his own fucking fault. The brother said, all the fire in this relationship, y'all need to separate and find yourselves. It's not healthy. Her cousin, Katasha's cousin, said, girl, I've been where you at. I've been in an abusive relationship. I've allowed it, stuck it out, believed that it could be better, but then it got worse and worse, and I had to let him go. I think you can let this go. If it's damaged, let it go. The mom said, I respect your relationship, but I want to let you know that's still my baby. And I'm afraid of her. You can't put your hands on him. He can't put your hands on you. Ashley, she said, I knew something was up because you are a slick talker. I knew it. Everything came out your mouth was just smooth. You had the right wording. You knew everything you had to say to pretty much say what it is. And it didn't work out. So Victor's getting mad that the best friend said that. He's like, first of all, I want to know what was being said. Because I don't know what she said. I know what she said. But everybody's coming on me. Now I got to defend myself and blah, blah, blah. Tracy's not trying to listen to him because he's trying to defend himself. I don't know why you're defending yourself. You put your hands on this girl. That's the one thing that you say. He keep on saying that's not true. It's not true. Okay, then explain it. Explain it. He don't want to explain it because he feels like it is true. It could be her leaving the cap off the toothpaste and he finds it. If he finds it, it's all running. He going to probably push her and slap her for doing that. On damn, I told you to put it here. And he going to say that's not what happened. Either way, he all trying to defend himself. Good night and goodbye, Victor. So Tracy said, y'all need to take a 30-day no contact and start individual therapy. Her sister wants her dad to find the stepdaughter wants the dad to find himself and work himself. The mom don't even think, the mom believes that Victor don't see that he's the problem. And he said, Victor said, I'm tired of these damn cameras. I'm like, oh, he ready to go. He's tired of being in the side scene. And then it ends. Now we get to the quick snippet of the follow-up of what's going on. Katasha and Victor did not follow Tracy's suggestion and did counseling and did not do the 30-day no contact. Shortly after returning home, they went to the courthouse and got married. Nobody was present. Katasha has not spoken to her mother since they moved back, since they landed back in Texas. I'm like, this girl, this man preyed on her. He preyed on a young girl who was tired of dating the same man because she felt like she wanted something more. He said, I can control her. I can manipulate her. I can have her be anything I want her to be for me. And I'm gonna make her believe that I'm the only one in this world that has her best interest. She shouldn't look for nobody else but me. She don't have no outside saving. She ain't got no support. I'm her fucking support. And she gonna respect me and do whatever I need to do because I'm the one that helped her. I'm the one that's here. Very narcissistic, weirdly incest type of feeling. I don't like it at all. It was I was crying for her. I was in tears. And I feel like, you know what, y'all need to separate her completely. Mom, don't give up. Get your daughter out of there before she... I don't want to say it. No. Because this is really sad. What one? What a 55-year-old man. Which one 25-year-old? Besides what? The fuck? That's it? What? Y'all, that's it. I'm getting mad all over again. Alright, y'all. I'm gone. Bye.